Good morning, students. This is K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in the Department of EEE, Chebrolo Engineering College, Lecture 25, Unit 2, Conductors, Dielectrics and Capacitance. Topic: Solved problems. In this video lecture, I would like to discuss about solved problems on boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric, and also problems on capacitance of spherical capacitor. Now, first problem is the potential field is given as V is equal to 100 e power minus 5x sin 3y cos 4z volts. Let point P 0.1 pi by 12 pi by 24 be located at a conductor free space boundary. At point P, find the magnitudes of V, E bar, E tangential, E normal, D bar, D normal, and rho s. So, this is the problem based on boundary condition between conductor and free space. So, at P, the coordinates are x, y, z. That means the x value is 0.1, y value is pi by 2, and z value is pi by 24. So here the potential is given in the problem. V is equal to 100 e power minus 5x sin 3y cos 4z. Substitute the values of x, y, z in this potential. That is 100 e power minus 0.5 sin 3 pi by 12 cos 4 pi by 24. This value is equal to 37.1422 volt. Now the next problem is determination of electric field intensity. According to relation between electric field intensity and the potential, E is equal to minus del V. So for a Cartesian coordinate system, this del V is equal to minus dou Vx by dou x Ax bar plus dou Vy dou y Ay bar plus dou Vz dou z Az bar. So here, now with respect to x, the differentiation of V is e power 5x is minus 5 into e power minus 5x, and the remaining terms are taken as a constant sin 3y cos 4z Ax plus here it is the differentiation with respect to y. So x and z are taken as a constant. So e power minus 5x as it is we have to write in here, and cos of 4z is also write as it is. Here this is the sin 3y. So differentiation of sin 3y is 3 cos 3y. And the next is differentiation with respect to z. So the x and y terms are taken as a constant. So e power minus 5x sine 3y or write as it is. Here this is the differentiation of cos 4z with respect to z, that is 4z differentiation is 4, cos 4z differentiation is minus sin 4z az bar. So here in these three terms there is a 100, so simply by common 100 just write before the bracket. So this is the electric field intensity value. Now by calculating the electric field intensity value and multiply with the 100, finally the electric field intensity vector in this problem is obtained as 185.7 AX bar minus 111.4 AY bar plus 85.776 AZ bar volt per meter. So in this problem we have to find the magnitude of the electric field intensity, so that is a mod of E bar, that is a square root of coefficient of AX bar plus coefficient of AY bar plus square of the coefficient of AZ, that is square root of 185.7 whole square plus 111.4 whole square plus 85.776 whole square value, which is equal to 232.9206 voltmeter. And the next problem, determination of tangential component of electric field intensity. As we already studied in the concept boundary condition between conductor and a free space, the tangential component of electric field intensity and the electric flux density values are both are equal to 0. So the same way here the tangential component for this potential value is also 0. Why? Because this is the boundary condition between conductor and free space. Now the normal component is the electric field intensity value. So that means it has only normal component. There is no tangential component in case of boundary condition between conductor and free space. So that is the tangential component value and normal component of electric field intensity. And still they have further D bar value. Here also the D bar value, by knowing the relation between D and E, that is epsilon naught E. So epsilon naught is a constant which is equal to 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 into E bar value. E bar vector is 185.7 AX bar minus 111.4 AY bar plus 85.776 AY bar. Now multiply this epsilon naught value to electric field intensity. The final value for D bar vector is 1.588 AX bar minus 0.9529 AY bar plus 0.7337 AZ bar nano coulomb per meter square. So the magnitude of D bar is simply by square root of 1.588 whole square plus 0.9529 whole square plus 0.7337 whole square. That value is equal to 1.992 nano coulomb per meter square. In this condition, that is a boundary condition between conductor and free space, there is a tangential component of electric flux density is also 0 as the relation between D and E. If E tangential is 0, then D tangential is also 0, that is epsilon E tangential, that is a relation between D and E. So whenever E tangential is 0, then automatically D tangential is also 0. That means it has only normal component. So this is the normal component value. So that dn bar value is equal to 1.992 nanocoulomb per meter square. And in this boundary condition between conductor and free space, the normal component of electric flux density value is equal to surface charge density. That means dN is equal to rho s. So the value of rho s is also equal to 1.992 nanocoulomb per meter square. So this is the solution of the problem. Now the next problem. The interface between two dielectrics is defined by x is equal to 0 plane for dielectric 1 and x greater than 0, that is epsilon r1 value is equal to 4, while the dielectric 2, that means the second medium, that is x less than 0, its permittivity, that is epsilon r2 value is equal to 3. If the electric flux density in the region 1 is given by d1 is equal to 2 ax bar plus 3 ay bar plus 4 az bar coulomb per meter square, then find the electric flux density to the another dielectric medium. In this problem, to solve this problem, we have to take the boundary condition between dielectric to dielectric case. So the solution of the problem is, so this is the schematic representation of an electromagnetic wave, how it comes from one dielectric medium to another dielectric medium. So this is the boundary, that is exactly at x is equal to 0. This is the first medium and this is the second dielectric medium. So the for the first dielectric medium x greater than 0, the permittivity of this medium is taken as a 4, and the second medium, so the second medium permittivity is equal to 3. So in this problem here, the d1 value is given in the problem. We have to find the value of d2 here. So the next, the normal direction to x is equal to 0 plane is ax bar. Hence, out of d1, the component of ax is a normal component of d1 bar. So the d tangential 1 is equal to 2ax bar, and d normal is equal to 2ax bar, and d tangential 1 is equal to 3ay bar plus 4az bar. So here this is the along permittivity. So basing on that permittivity here, this is the d1 vector 2ax bar plus 3ay bar plus 4az bar. From this dielectric flux density value, the normal one is 2ax bar, which is the electric flux density is component that is ax, which is normal to d1. So that's why the d normal is equal to 2ax bar, and the remaining ay and az components, that is represents the d tangential one. So that d tangential term is equal to 3ay bar plus 4az bar. Now just remember the boundary condition between dielectric and dielectric. So it is clear from that theorem, the normal component of first medium is equal to normal component of second medium. So the normal component of second medium is also equal to 2ax bar, and also the tangential component are like that, that is the tangential component of 1 and the tangential component of 2 are in the ratio epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. That means permittivity of the medium 1 divided by permittivity of the medium 2. So from this formula we can easily determine the tangential component of electric flux density. So that is d tangential 2 is equal to d bar tangential 1 into epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. So it is clearly given the permittivity of the first medium is 4 and the permittivity of the second medium is 3. So that is 4 by 3. And clearly the d tangential one term is that is equal to 3ay bar plus 4az bar. So by substituting here and multiply with the 4 by 3 term, this is the d tangential to electric vector, that is 4 ay bar plus 5.33 az bar, and the d2, that means the electric flux density is the sum of the normal component and tangential component. Here the normal component of electric flux density is 2ax bar, and the tangential component of the electric flux density is 4ay bar plus 5.33 az bar coulomb per meter square. So by given d1 a vector, it is easily here we find the value of d2 vector by applying the boundary conditions between dielectric and dielectric cases. And the next, the electric field intensity at a point on the surface of a conductor is given by E bar is equal to 0.2 ax bar minus 0.3 ay bar minus 0.2 az bar volt per meter. Find the surface charge density at that point. Here the given conductor electric field intensity equation is E bar. So we have to find the surface charge density, that is rho s at that point. So by given E value, we have to find the value of rho s. So this problem is solved by the applying boundary conditions between conductor and to the air. So here the E bar value is given by E is equal to 0.2 ax bar minus 0.3 ay bar minus 0.2 az bar volt per meter. At the condition between or interface between air and the conductor is given by d normal is equal to epsilon naught E normal. By taking E normal as a E bar here, so d normal value is obtained by substitute the E value and epsilon naught here. So this is the epsilon naught value, that is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12, and the in the problem they given the value of E, that is 0.2 ax bar minus 0.3 ay bar minus 0.2 az bar. So clearly the normal component of electric flux density is obtained. Now the final electric flux density value is 1.7708 ax bar minus 2.6562 ay bar minus 1.7708 az bar pico coulomb per meter square. We have know at the boundary condition between air and conductor, the normal component of electric flux density, that is dn bar value is equal to surface charge density, that is rho s. So in this problem we have to find the value of surface charge density. So already we find the value of dn bar, that is a normal component of electric flux density. So as dn bar value is equal to rho s, so simply the rho s value is as it is dn bar value. So the magnitude of rho s at that point is by taking square root of, so the magnitude of surface charge density rho s at that point is a square root of 1.7708 whole square plus 2.6562 whole square plus 1.7708 whole square. This value is equivalent to 3.6506 pico coulomb per meter square. So this is the surface charge density at that point. Now the next problem. Determine the capacitance of a capacitor consisting of two parallel metal plates, 30 centimeter surface area, separated by 5 mm in air. What is the total energy stored by the capacitor if it is charged to a potential difference of 500 volt? What is the energy density? So we have to calculate the energy stored in a capacitor value and also energy density in this problem. And the given values are surface area and the distance between the parallel plate and the potential difference value, that is 500 volts. So here the epsilon naught value is taken as a 8.854 10 power minus 12, and epsilon r, the space between parallel plates, is air. So air relative permittivity epsilon r value is equal to 1, and the area given in the problem, that is 0.3 into 0.3, which is converted into meters, that is equal to 0.09 meter square, and the distance between the two plates, that is the t, which is equal to 5 centimeters, which is in meters, it is equal to 5 into 10 power minus 2 meters. So we have to find the value of capacitance, energy stored, and energy density. So as we already know, the capacitance of a parallel plate formula is epsilon A by D. Epsilon is written as epsilon naught epsilon r. So, and epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12, and area is equal to 0.09, and the thickness, that is the distance between the plates, is 5 into 10 power minus 2. So this value is equivalent to 159.2 picofarad. Now the energy stored in a due to a parallel plate capacitor is equal to half CV square. So 1 by 2 into capacitance is 159.2. Picofarad is converted into farad as a multiply with 10 power minus 12, and the potential difference is given in the problem, that is 500 volts. So 500 whole square. By calculating these values, the resultant energy stored is equivalent to 19.90 into 10 power minus 6 joules. And further we have to calculate the energy density. So energy density formula is half epsilon naught E square. So 1 by 2 epsilon naught value is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 into 10 power 10. So this value is equal to 4.427 into 10 power minus 2 joule per meter square. And for a parallel plate capacitor, the electric field intensity is equivalent to Q by A epsilon. Epsilon is written as epsilon naught epsilon r. So here in this problem there is no charge value. So to convert the Q as a known values, that is C and V, that is capacitance and voltage. So Q is changed as the charge Q is changed in terms of capacitance and voltage, which is equal to CV. So the electric field intensity for this parallel plate capacitor is E bar is equal to CV by A epsilon naught epsilon r. So C value also we find in this problem, that value is equal to 159.2 into 10 power minus 12, and the voltage is 500, area that is equal to 0.09 meters, and epsilon naught value is equivalent to 8.854 into 10 power minus 12, and epsilon r, that is relative permittivity of the free space value, is equal to 1. By calculating this expression, its value is equal to 99.89 into 10 cube volt per meter, that is the value of electric field intensity for the given problem of parallel plate capacitor. Now the next problem is, find the capacitance of a conducting sphere of 2 centimeters in diameter, covered with a layer of polythene with epsilon r, that is relative permittivity, is equal to 2.26 and 3 centimeters thickness. So here the problem is basing on a spherical shaped capacitor. Now the diameter of that spherical capacitor is 2 centimeters, and it is covered with a layer of polythene that is taken as a dielectric medium. Here it is a spherical having radius A. It is surrounded by a polythene of a thickness 3 centimeters and having a radius of taken as a R1. Now for this spherical capacitor, the radius of the sphere is A by 2. So that is equal to 1 centimeter, and R1 value is equal to A plus thickness. Here the radius of the sphere is, that is diameter by 2, that is 1 centimeter, already we have to calculate it. So the R1 is the radius of the polythene, so that is equal to A plus thickness of the polythene. So here the A is the radius of the sphere, that is equal to 1, and the thickness of the polythene is equal to 3. So the radius of the polythene is equal to 1 plus 3, that is 4 centimeters. So this arrangement of the is look like a form of two capacitors in a series. So we have to use the formula for capacitance of the capacitor due to the spherical arrangement of concentric spheres, that is C is equal to 4 pi epsilon 1 by A minus 1 by B. Here A is the radius of the sphere, that is equal to 1 centimeter. B is the another concentric sphere that is having a radius, we have already find, that is equal to 4 centimeters. Now substitute A value 1 centimeter and B value 4 centimeter in this expression, then we can easily find the capacitance of the capacitor. So that is equal to 4 pi into 2.26 into epsilon naught by, so that is given in the problem, 4 pi epsilon value, and 1 by A, that is 1 centimeter, so we have to convert into meters, that is 1 into 10 power minus 2, minus 1 by B, that is 4 centimeters, and it is also converted into meters, that is multiply with 10 power minus 2, that is 4 into 10 power minus 2. By calculating this value, it is equivalent to 3.3527 picofarad. So here there is another case we have to select it. At C2, due to isolated sphere, that is R1 is equal to 4 centimeters, so that is taken as a 4 pi epsilon R1. That means between the spheres of radius R1 and a sphere at infinity, the dielectric is taken as a free space, that is epsilon naught. So C2 capacitance value is equivalent to 4 pi epsilon naught R1, which is equal to 4 pi into 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 into 4 into 10 power minus 2. So this value is equal to 4.4505 picofarad. So C equivalent value is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So already we have to find the values of C1 and C2. Now substitute these values in this expression, that is 3.3527 into 10 power minus 12 into 4.4505 into 10 power minus 12 by commoning the 10 power minus 12 value, 3.3527 plus 4.4505, that is substitute the value totally equal by calculating. This value is equal to 1.9121 picofarad. So these are the solved problems which are based on boundary condition between conductor to free space and dielectric to dielectric, and also problems based on capacitance. Thank you.